Hello everyone,
Hi everyone.
welcome back to our channel, and today we are back with a very interesting topic. So just to give you an overview, we have planned for a series that is called Experts Talk, where we will be having experts from different categories and fields to share their knowledge and help us walk through our questions
Journey.
and
Yeah.
concerns and journey as a new immigrant. So today, to start with this expert talk, I have a very interesting topic, the tips and tricks that one should have when you immigrate as a new immigrant into a new country like Canada. We can go into details further more, and if anybody wants more information, they can always connect with Navjot. We will be providing his contact details and everything at the end of this video. So we request everyone to stay tuned till the end of the video, where we will be providing all details of Navjot. He has been doing a great job, and yeah, and helping people out in achieving their dreams in terms of financial.
It's a good research actually.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
not possible by someone who just comes and it's not possible. We are glad to invite Navjot. He is a senior financial advisor based on Vancouver, and he helps people to achieve their dreams, the financial goals and the dreams. For example, as a new immigrant or whoever already are there in Vancouver or in British Columbia or anywhere in Canada, Ontario or anywhere, so they generally plan to buy house and homes. So Navjot basically helps people to achieve their dreams, and he guides in all the financial journey. So today we are inviting Navjot, and let's get started.
But before I start, thank you all those who are already subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much for your support. And those who are new to my channel, my name is Momita Viswas. I am an IT professional, so Salesforce consultant working with a global IT company here in Vancouver. And before being in Canada, I have stayed and worked a considerable amount of time in USA and India as well.
Hi Navjot, how are you?
Hey, Swaraj bhai, good to see you. Momita ji, good to see you. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we are doing good, and we are very happy to have you us in our experts discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I am happy to be here. I appreciate you guys, taking the time and actually reaching out to me.
That's fine.
Thank you for having me.
Expert and guru in your field, so we would love to include. First, we are inviting you to introduce yourself. That would give the idea to our.
Fantastic. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Navjot Gale. Obviously, I work out here in Surrey, BC, Canada, and I am in the wealth management field. My mission really as the owner of a practice in wealth management is to take immigrant families to a position of financial security and financial independence here in Canada. Right. We as immigrants, we immigrate. I myself immigrated as an immigrant to Canada back in 2012. And what I noticed was, we were doing everything. Most immigrants were doing everything, but somewhere they just were not following a clear goal and plan. No. So my goal when I sit down with people is to actually get them through that plan, build a plan with them, get them through the plan so that they can achieve financial security and financial independence. And again, I operate out here in BC. I'm also available to people in Ontario as well as in Alberta at this point in time, right? So so that's a bit of my introduction. Again, appreciate you guys calling me on.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Right. And then let's get into the main topic.
Absolutely.
So to start the series with today's topic would be the house buying goals or the tips that you might be having for new immigrants or who
as a new immigrant or those who are already in Canada. Generally, they plan for owning a house here. That's the main target for any immigrant because the rent is huge. So, what are the steps? How do you help people to achieve that dream?
Correct. And you said it so right. People from our part of the world always want to first get into their property. Why? Because again, property is linked with wealth, right? Property is linked with something that we pass on to our next generations. Yeah. It is a key thing. And of course, Canada is a land of opportunity. The Canadian dream, the American dream somewhere is to have that house. Yes, a mortgage-free house later on, but a house first, right? So I'll get into a few things that initially when people move here, they got to keep in mind. So let's talk about certain things that, let's say, today I decided, and I'm an immigrant here. I've been in Canada maybe for a year, 2 years, 3 years, depending on my situation. And I decide today with my family that I want a house, that I want to buy a house because, like you said, Suvraj bhai, rents here are very expensive. There's a possibility you could just end up, instead of paying $1,800, $2,200 for rent, you could end up maybe with something similar, but actually owning your own home, building equity, right?
Exactly.
So that is a clear question. That's the question that came into my mind a few years ago as well. And I ended up purchasing my first property here because I did not want to end up paying rent forever. Now, big thing is, even before, like, let's say that thought comes to my mind and I say, I want to buy a house. The first, and I'll tell you, this is from experience, right? I made a big mistake. What I did initially was I decided I wanted to buy a house, and I looked at a couple condos, and I liked a condo, and they were pre-construction, so they were coming by in the next year or so. I looked at the condo. I said, hey, I like this. I went out, I took a check. I asked them how much deposit. They said, I think it was at that time, I think it was 5,000 or 6,000. I gave them the deposit. And I had no idea whether I would qualify for a mortgage. Realized that given my income at that time, I didn't even qualify for that mortgage. So the first thing and the biggest thing that, first step, that when that thought comes into my mind, what I want to do is I want to get something called a pre-approval, a mortgage pre-approval, right?
Yeah.
Now, what is a mortgage pre-approval? Essentially, I can talk to a mortgage broker. I can talk to a bank, somebody who works in the industry. I help people with these now as well. Back in the day, of course, I didn't know this, but I do help people with get their pre-approvals. What a pre-approval is based on my income.
Okay.
What can I afford in terms of a mortgage? What the banks or what the lenders can give me as a loan, and as a derivation, how much can I afford in terms of a house, right? So can I afford $1 million of house based on, the down payment that I have, based on the loan that I can get, and also including a few other things like maybe an estimate of costs that I'll end up paying for that house. So that is the first process. This is number one. And I cannot stress the importance of this, because again, you might end up thinking, hey, this is a great house for me. I want a house like this, like this, like this. But if I cannot qualify for it, that is just a dream, right? So make that dream reality, start off with a pre-approval. Now, once you get a pre-approval, the second thing is, talking about setting a budget. Let's say I am pre-approved for $8 million, right? Now, the thing is, I am pre-approved. That's a maximum house I can buy. Usually, sometimes, kya hota hai ki I might end up saying, chalo, I can buy $1 million house, let me go and buy it. I should always remember, I need a house I should buy a house according to my needs.
Correct.
Because
That's true.
Correct. So ending up paying more for something that I don't need will only lead to financial ruin down the road, right? So it's very important to actually set that budget, and that is based on what are my needs. So what do I need in terms of the house, right? What do I need? And I should base that discussion, with my family. If I have kids, of course, I need something different. If I don't have kids, if I'm still if I'm still a bachelor or just married and just me and my spouse, then of course, different things. After we've decided how much budget we need or how much we're willing to spend based on our needs out of that pre-approval amount, out of that total qualification, the next thing is finding a good realtor, right? And, again, I am not a licensed realtor. However, I have used realtors throughout all my purchases, and I would say they provide you guidance based on certain norms. I mean, certain terms and conditions that contracts have. They can help you because an experienced realtor has been in business for a while. They know areas. They know what's good about an area, what's bad about an area. They can help you, just make a good decision essentially. Now,
and they help you to negotiate, right?
Yes, absolutely. So if you're buying a brand new place, then of course there is no negotiation involved. However, if you're buying resale, yes, it is resale, then yes, there's a big negotiation part that is included, and realtors do that. A good realtor will get you the house you want at the price you want, right? Also, again, there are market factors that determine things, but a good realtor is important. It is important to choose somebody, and I see it as an interview process, right? You are paying a realtor to search a house for you, whether it's during the buying process or the selling process. They're going to secure your dream home for you, and they're going to get paid for that. Not directly from you as a buyer, only as a seller you pay. But no matter what, they'll still get paid to help you out. So the point is, select a good realtor, talk to them, see if they're actually putting your needs before anything else. Right? A realtor who is mission driven is very important. Fortunately, unfortunately, just like any other, I guess, business or any other field out there, there are good realtors, there are bad realtors. Nothing against them.
Right,
Some
yeah.
people just don't have the experience. Talk to a few and select one that has a great reputation. Also, that one that works for you. They'll help you, like I said. Next thing is they'll help you choose a community. So pick and choose. If you have kids, you want a community that has nice schools around. If you, depending on where you work, live, what the culture is, you also want to be closer, not too far away from work if you need to go in, but they can help you choose, right? And then finally, once, I guess this comes a little bit later, once you've already put in an offer, once you've selected a house, narrowed it down, you put in an offer, make sure that, given the market, of course, that you, if possible, you can get a home inspection done. Because, even if you're buying a house that is $500,000, it's still $500,000, right? $500,000. And it could cost you way more if there are some underlying issues in that house. So where possible, get a home inspection done. Like I said, dependent on the market. We bought this house about 6 months ago. The market is so hot here in BC right now that if you even put a clause for a home inspection, they're not even going to look at your offer, right? And there again, the expertise of the realtor comes in play a little bit. They can, if they're experienced enough, they'll walk into a house, they'll talk about it. If the house will also say things to you when you look at it, right? You notice small things. The realtors notice small things. They say, they can give you an idea of if you can go ahead without a home inspection. If the market is right, get it done, right? So those are certain things 5 things that you should keep in mind.
So just a quick question regarding the pre-approval. So do you think after coming in Canada, one has to wait a couple of months or years, then apply for the pre-approval, or just is anything time related or something related to it? Or
very good question, Subraj bhai. Usually banks and lenders, they like to see that the person is in a stable job, and they've been here, they've been making that money for a while.
okay.
Now, and there's 2 types of people. Usually one type of person is one that is self-employed. So, consultants, they work for themselves. They're not in a permanent job per se, either in contracts or just, getting paid through a corporation that they've built. In that case, the lenders usually require you to show 2 years of income, right? 2 years of income. So a person who comes to Canada and starts working for themselves as a consultant, going out, helping companies, consulting for companies, usually they will have to wait for 2 years.
Okay.
Right? Because banks want to see 2 years of income, and then they use the average.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In case of an employee, as long as you have a job and as long as you have passed probation, the banks are happy with that, right? You would need, like a job letter, and that's the basis of what they'll use to decide whether they give you, what they give you in terms of money. And again, so good question. I hope that answers, your question. And you're absolutely right. Everybody's scenarios are different. Google is, yes, a lot of people use Google as their,
That's
thesis.
not the correct way. Yeah.
There's opinions, right? What Google says might not fit your scenario. So, so any questions on that?
Very general ideas, but these are the key areas. And again, we can jump in and have a deep dive in each of the areas, and Navjot is always there to help everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much.
Absolutely. anytime, and we can go into details as well. I do have my partners who are actually, again, more involved on the real estate side, and we can do that as well. We can pull them in.
Have some umbrella and all the realtors or the financial advisors and connections. They
Correct. Because we work, as wealth managers, as financial advisors, we work on referrals, and we have a close-knit community. I personally am connected with a few great realtors who've been doing really well. They've worked for clients. That is my philosophy, working for clients, for a long-term business. So we can always get them on and, just educate our viewers on more things.
As we started off with this topic, we definitely got some very helpful tips and tricks to plan when people are coming in as a first-time home buyer.
Mhm.
What are the points they should look into? And another reliable thing that I got to know is that besides his point of expertise, he also has connections as realtors and other areas where people need guidance, and people would always want to. And nowadays there are a lot of scams and misleadings and everything. So it is always better to have someone recommended by you. So it definitely gives a value addition.
But some things that I would be happy to cover also in the future is, if somebody already has a place, how they can possibly, get into a bigger place based on that. And the burning question, with people right now, Toronto and Vancouver, obviously, in terms of real estate alone, Toronto and Vancouver are the hottest markets. Things are more than unaffordable here for a lot of people. There are options, there's a few things that people can do. But guys, Suraj bhai, just wanted to say that, Suraj bhai, Momita ji, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for having me on here. I am available whenever you want me to actually provide value to our community across Canada. And guys, to all our viewers, this couple is doing an amazing job. So you know what? Get out there. If you know somebody who's new to Canada, make sure you get them this, the link to this channel, their channel, subscribe to that so that they can keep in touch. There's a lot of valuable knowledge that we're sharing. So go out, subscribe, like our channel as well, and make sure that you stay tuned for the next video in the series. Right?
Sure, definitely. And thank you so much for taking your time out from your busy schedule. I know you are really very busy. So yeah, we will keep this going.
So thank you, Navjot. Thank you so much for being with us today, and it was really informative, and we will talk again soon. So please stay tuned with us. We will be coming up with more such informative videos, not only related to your financial goals and financial planning, but related to buying your dream home and settling down with your family, and whatever that needs to be done when you immigrate as a new immigrant. Thank you so much for being with us today, and we will be back soon with a new and exciting video. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And also please do let us know if you want us to make any special videos or discussions on any particular field or any particular category. We will be happy to help you out with that.